Today I'm going to go over the process of adding a tweeter to an Elantra N's center channel. I had already upgraded the factory center channel to a Dayton 3-inch mid-range speaker, but I decided to add a Focal tweeter, turning the center channel into a two-way component system. I will have a link to my original center channel upgrade video and all the items used in this install in the video description below. To begin, remove the factory center channel grill. Next, you'll need to remove 4 small protruding plastic pieces that are around the 2 silver square screw plates. I used a utility knife to cut the pieces off. A Toyota-style tweeter mount will work for mounting the tweeter in the center area. I tested the tweeter mount to make sure it fit in the dash. During the test fit, I noticed 2 issues. The first issue was the mounting holes did not line up, so I had to drill 2 new holes in the mount. The second issue was one of the holes for the factory grill was being blocked by the tweeter mount. I used a Dremel and made a notch in the lower left side of the mount. This allowed the factory grill clip to attach properly to the dash. Since I already had a mid-range installed and didn't want to rewire it, I tapped into the mid-range's positive and negative wires. This made adding the tweeter much easier. I didn't have Tessa tape when I originally filmed this video, so I had to go back and add Tessa tape to the tweeter's wires later. I'm running an active crossover system, so I did not put a crossover on the mid-range, but I did install the Focal supplied inline crossover on the tweeter. When I first installed the factory grill, I noticed it had a slight bulge to it. I found this was due to a piece of padded cloth covering the tweeter area that I had forgotten to remove. After removing the cloth, I went ahead and added some sound deadening material to the underside of the grill. Once done, I reinstalled the grill again, but there was still a slight bump in the grill. After looking over everything again, the issue was due to the height of the tweeter's grill pushing against the factory grill. To correct this issue, I used a Dremel to sand down the bottom side of the tweeter mount and cut a portion of the left side so the mount would drop down a bit to allow for the height of the tweeter's grill so that it would not interfere with the factory grill cover. To clean up the mount, I wrapped it with Tessa tape. Once I thinned the mount, the factory grill fit flush again. This step may not be necessary depending on how flush your tweeter fits in the mount, and you could also make a custom speaker mount. I just wanted to show that you can use a pre-made speaker mount for this install. I'm still listening to this setup to determine if I'm going to keep the tweeter, but I can say it definitely brightens up the center stage. If you don't want a bright front stage, I don't know that I would suggest adding a tweeter unless you have a DSP installed that allows you to tone it down. Also, the type of tweeter will make a difference as well. As far as the mid-range goes by itself, I've been running 125 watts to the Dayton 3-inch speaker for almost a year now with no issue. It has been a worthwhile upgrade, especially when you consider the cost is only $30 to $40 depending on when you purchase it. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for more content.